And then 3 is follow up with 3 new people, and 1 is either mentor, coach, or train 1 new team member. If you do that either daily or weekly, based on what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish in your business, that is going to keep you on track with your time management and doing your business income producing activities. Now, what does sharing with 5 people look like? It was awesome to see Eric Worre here. How many absolutely love Eric Worre and what he had to say? I will tell you, I had just found him in his book GoPro right before the last leadership retreat, and it was gold to me to say, oh my goodness, there's actually skills that we can learn and skills that we can practice and we can get better at it. So in sharing with 5 new people, I'm going to divert to Eric Worre, and if you guys don't have the book GoPro or the audio, get that, because that actually sharing, learning how to present the business, present the opportunity, all of that's actually a skill that you can learn and you can get better at. So I'm not going to go into what that is for the 5-3 one. Just know that it could be when I run errands out with the kids, I'm going to put 5 business cards in my pocket. And when I'm talking to people throughout the day, I'll know that I've shared with 5 new people. When I come home and I don't have those 5 business cards in my pocket anymore. But just setting those goals to be able to share either the business or the products with 5 new people every day or every week. Now, following up with 3 people, again, this is a skill. This is where I dropped the ball a lot. I was sharing. Lots of people knew I was doing Plexus, it was out there, but I was not good about follow-up. That's where my spiral planner also comes in really well. Because when I do my to-do list, and when I block my time with my priorities, as soon as I either sell a 3-day trial, talk to somebody new, touch base with somebody on Facebook, I'm gonna write it on my planner what day I talk to them. And then I'll know what day I need to follow up with them. When I follow up with them in my planner, I write down what they said. Was it a yes? Was it a no? Was it a maybe? Was it what I needed to do? So that have some sort of system that you can keep track of. Because if you guys are selling 10 3-day trials a week, that's awesome. If you're just selling them and not ever following up with the people that are getting them, that's not going to benefit you at all. I will tell you, mentor, coach, and train 1 team person. This was huge for me. I actually think I put this in one of my later slides about covering now while I'm thinking about it. When I kind of had that little bit of a breakdown and I felt like, okay, there's no more of me left to give, I realized that I was giving so much to so many, my personals weren't getting the training that they needed so that they could then duplicate down. And that's the beauty of this business. If we keep it simple and share with those people that are close to us, they'll be able to go turn around and do that same thing for that next level down. So I really started focusing in on checking in with my leaders, making sure they all were on track and what they needed to do with their goals, dreams, and visions, and that started trickling down. And when I started doing that, they started doing their own team calls, they started managing their own team pages. It's been absolutely remarkable to watch my leaders be able to help and all of us working together to effectively manage our time. Okay. Leading versus training, or leading and training with leader versus manager. This was another one that I stumbled into. I got to a point where I kind of felt like, I have an awesome team, this is great. And I shifted over to manager mode. Does anybody know what manager mode is? Manager mode is where you're just kind of monitoring what everybody else is doing. For me, that was obsessively running list view reports. Let's see who signed somebody up today. And it was all focused on what somebody else on my team was doing. Well, it doesn't take very long for you to figure out that doesn't get it done when you take the focus off doing what you need to do because you're worried and waiting for everybody else to do stuff. So, in order to build a team with leaders below you, it's essential to effectively manage your time. But don't always try to be the hero. If you're in manager mode, always trying to take care of everything for everyone and manage all of the people, manage all of the drama, manage all of the issues, that is going to suck you in and it's going to distract you. Some people, personality-wise, actually feel like they need to be the hero. They want to be the only one that has those answers because they want their team to need them. That's not something that we want. That's not going to be okay for you. Eventually, that's going to wear you out. If you're running around being the hero, to everyone and managing instead of truly leading and focusing on what you need to be doing, it's going to really wear you out. 3 things in some of the reading and training that I've done, 3 questions that are really good to ask yourself is this simple? Does it work? And can I do it? 3 really great things. If what I'm doing isn't simple, isn't working, it isn't something that anybody who joins my team could do, it's probably going to be a red flag or something that's not really going to work. Now, if you find your points are dwindling, or wait a second, what's going on here? I have found, for me, I was able to pinpoint, Sarah, you haven't recruited anybody this month, or for 2 months, or even for 3 months. You've been so, there's that darn fly. They jinxed me back there. They were all doing the happy dance that the fly was gone today. Okay, I have to get back on my train of thought. Sorry. We might just have to skip to the next slide. Okay, no, I remember. Managing. You're in manager mode. I realized, oh my gosh, it's been 3 months and I haven't recruited anybody because I was so busy worrying about everybody else. As soon as I clicked back over into, okay, what do I need to do? What's my role as a leader? I need to be setting goals, managing my priorities, moving forward, bringing new people onto the team, getting them trained. When you switch back into that leader role instead of the manager role, it's amazing what can happen there. True leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. And isn't it amazing? Just like Helen said, Sheila signed Helen up, but Helen was, halfway across the country. She didn't have her necessarily holding her hand and being that everything. It was great to have an awesome upline, but it's a really good sign when you have leaders below you that don't need you for everything. When they start taking the ball and running with it and just checking in with you the next week and the next week to tell you all the amazing things that are happening and you didn't really have to do anything because they've kind of run with it, that's a really, really sweet spot to be in your business. So just remember that. Okay, administration. This is something that probably bogs the most people down, but really needs to be the smallest amount of time that you spend on something because it can really zap your time, zap your energy. So, if there's something that 1, you don't like to do, 2, you're not good at, delegate. Because if you can delegate for somebody else to help you, that's going to be really, really good for you to effectively manage your time. Now, what does that look like for me? I don't know if anybody loves to do this, but I actually hate mopping floors. I hate scrubbing toilets. There are just some things that, that was the very first thing in my business that helped me that I delegated. If I can pay somebody $15 an hour to come scrub my floors for me, 1, I'm getting out of something I hate. 2, my husband's going to be happy because the floors are clean and I didn't have to do it. 3, if I take that hour that I just paid somebody to do something I hate and I go work my business, is that not something that's awesome? That's going to be managing your time well? Yes, absolutely. You can take that a few different ways. If you happen to find an amazing babysitter like I have. Hudson absolutely adores our nanny, Heather. Heather comes over and helps me. It is so worth my time to have a happy 2-year-old that gets to go on nature walks and do all of that. They go do their thing, and then I have that time scheduled. Okay, I'm going to be effective in my business for 1 hour here. So if you can delegate, that's really going to be able to help you free up some time. If you only have an hour or 2 to work your business, figure out what is it that I can trade so that I can effectively work my business and delegate something else. Some tools that you can use to help so you don't have to be everything for everyone is I use freeconferencecall.com, and I know tons of you all do your own conference calls. I found that I was on the phone all the time, and I'm only one person, and when I was answering the same question over and over and over again, it's like, let's all get on a conference call. I'll say it one time, and 200 people can all hear the answer together. It was a really good concept. So if you guys don't have that, jump on freeconferencecall.com and sign up for an account because it's easy. You can record the calls and post them for your teams. It's a really, really good resource for you to be able to use. Facebook groups, if used effectively, can be really, really good. You can jump on, you can post recognition, you can post updates, you can do things so that a lot of people plug in. Be careful though, because I think that really is the #1 time zapper that's going to take away from your business. I have a group for my first 3 levels, and so we do a lot of where we have the timing there. I just looked at the clock and said timing. We have a lot of stuff that goes on close to me in those first 3 levels, and then they then have their own pages that trickle down. So I try not to get caught up in that. And then record keeping. You heard Rachel talk about a few things. I absolutely adore TaxSpot. Something quick and easy. I have my receipt. You know, I log in what I spent, take the pictures of it, and it's a really good thing. If there's any tools or resources that you can use to help manage your time on those tedious things that you get hung up with, absolutely do that. And now, personal growth and development. I really have to say, this has been the pivotal and monumental change in where my business started to take off. After I hit Emerald, I really started searching. I was new to network marketing. I did not have a history in knowing what this profession was. And it was really, really helpful for me to start reading, to start listening to audios, to start absorbing things that could help me be better in my business. And a lot of people say, you know what, I don't have time for that. Well, how many of you have a favorite show that you watch in the evenings on TV? You know, you've got a TiVo or DVR, and for me, it was Parenthood. We had The Good Wife. I was a die-hard American Idol fan from the very beginning. You know, I voted for Kelly Clarkson all the way in the very first season. Yep, Carrie Underwood too. So, I would tell you, oh, I'm a crazy busy mom, I don't have time. I can't do that. Well, really, I did have time. And when I found the ways to switch that out and use my entertainment time then for education time, I can honestly say I don't even remember the last time I sat down and watched a TV show. Giving up the hour or 2 in the evenings before I went to bed and reading and learning and growing was absolutely huge for what it did for my business. There's CDs, videos, webinars, blogs, you name it. I've got a few favorites. Sarah Robbins is one of my mentors that I absolutely adore. She's got a lot of really good neutral network marketing training. I give everybody a copy of GoPro that signs up on my team because it really is so laid out simply. These are skills that you can practice and get good at, and it will help you. But guess what happens? When you find really good growth and development materials, when somebody joins my team, I can hand them a copy of GoPro, I can hand them a copy of How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins, and I can say, read those and then call me. Because that's training that's already out there, that's already been done. Why am I going to sit down with somebody for 3 hours? If that information can be given to them, and then we can have a heart-to-heart over coffee, and they can talk to me about their dreams and their goals and their wishes, and I can help take them to the next level with what they have questions about. But actually bringing in and using those tools and resources is so much more effective in managing your time because I don't have to share all that information that's already out there. Now another thing is, how many moms do we have out there? How many soccer moms? Yes, awesome. How many times are you in the car from carpool line, going to soccer games? I mean, we're in the car running kids here, there, and everywhere all the time. I have audios in my every car all the time. Even if it's only a 5-minute trip, you know, you'll see me, I'll have a new CD. I'm always listening to new CDs, even if it's only 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll sit in the driveway and the kids will come out like, Mom, what are you doing? I'm like, I have to get to the end of my tape, it's okay. Or I'm just hiding, you know, just leave me in the driveway and listen to my personal growth and development. So I really, really encourage you guys to start trading, even if it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes in personal growth and development. I have a list of about 30 of my favorites. If you guys want to ask me, or I'll post it somewhere, I'd be happy to share that with you. So, in wrapping up, because I have 1 minute, I love this quote. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And somebody else mentioned this too. If you can plug your people into tools and resources that are already available to us, that's time that you don't have to give away, because those are answers to questions that you don't have to give. We have an amazing website. Who's excited about the new website that we're going to